So far, the season's going pretty good. What's up, YouTube? So this video is just going to be talking about the season so far for me. And so far, I have 5 bearded dragon clutches that have been laid. The 5th clutch is actually, so the first clutch is probably like 28, 29 days away, maybe less. I haven't really looked in a while. Then we have one that I think every clutch after that was 1 week after each other. So I think it was the second clutch is probably like 30, or a little over 30 days away. The third clutch is, closer to 40 days. And the 4th clutch is probably like 45 days away or so. And then the 5th clutch was just laid yesterday. I made a post on Instagram. So this video is probably going to be a little bit later than that post. Probably like 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks later than that post. And so far, I have 1, 2, maybe 2 females that are laying real soon, a 3rd female that's probably due to lay soon as well, and a 4th female that might be gravid. There hasn't been any signs she's gaining weight, but I haven't, I don't want to say she is gravid because she could just be gaining weight, but typically they don't gain weight for no reason, and that'll be her 2nd clutch. So I only have 1 female that has laid a 2nd clutch so far. The 2nd female that laid this year, she's probably laying her 2nd clutch here soon. And I think there's 3. Let me double check. There's 3 females that have never laid a clutch for me before, and this will be their 1st season. And let me just show you some of the dragons that I have that have already laid, so you can see kind of what we're expecting. I think by the time this video goes up, don't hold me to it, but I think by the time this video goes up, based off the scheduling and all that, the 1st clutch might already be hatching. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna go. I don't know how many videos I haven't recorded a video in probably a month, and everything that you've seen up until this point is just videos that I have recorded, way before. And I took a little break, just whatever, took some time with the family and more time with the animals because everybody's laying, everybody's doing stuff. Trying to give them more attention. And so I haven't had a lot of time to record, but essentially a lot of stuff has happened. 5 clutches have been laid so far, with another 3 or 4 clutches going to be laid soon. And I also have 2 snakes that have already had their pre-lay shed. I've had 2 more snakes that have had the ovulation, and I have a 5th snake. Is that it? A 5th snake that is about to have her ovulation. She just had her ovulation shed. So essentially, as of right now, there's at least 5 snakes, maybe 5 snakes, at least 4 snakes, maybe the 5th snake that are going to be laying this season. And what else I got? I think there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 females that have already reabsorbed their clutch. So I was expecting maybe like 15 to 20 clutches this year from ball pythons. 3 of them have already reabsorbed. I have another 3 that are still locking, and there's probably like 3 or 4 more that are still not doing anything. They're just stagnant. And no, actually, I'll take that back. There's probably 5 more that are still locking, and there's 3 or 4 that are not doing anything. So it's looking more like, 15, closer to 15, maybe a little bit less than 15 clutches this year of ball python eggs. Whereas at the beginning of the year, I was trying to figure out, or at the beginning of the season, I was trying to figure out the season, and I was planning on pairing up to 20 females. So, it still could happen. I don't know. But as of right now, a lot of the females are not locking, and it's just, all up in the air right now. So it's nothing set in stone. So that's where we are right now. But like I said, let's go look at some of the dragons I've already laid, so you can kind of get an idea of what is happening, what has happened, and what we'll be expecting as far as bearded dragons go. We don't have any eggs from ball pythons yet, but I'll show you some of the ball pythons that have already had their pre-lay shed as well. So let's go do that right now. So we'll start off with this girl here. This girl is Zenya, a hypo possible het trans tiger, citrus tiger. And she has laid the first clutch of the year as well as the fifth clutch of the year. I don't anticipate her laying a third clutch because her second clutch was a little bit smaller than her first clutch. If I remember correctly, her first clutch was about 17 fertile, but her second clutch was about 8 fertile. So typically, there's usually about the same amount of fertile eggs in the second clutch, and usually when you see a big decline like that in the next clutch, that usually means that they don't have any more sperm. So it could just be that she possibly punctured a lot of the eggs, and I just couldn't tell. But essentially, that's what happened. So there are a total of 25 babies from her so far. Obviously, that's talking about an 100% hatch rate, and we don't know if that's going to be the case. But essentially, this is the girl that has laid the first and the second and the fifth clutch for us for 2024. She just laid yesterday, so she does look a little bit skinnier than normal. She had a good meal after laying as well as this morning. So she's already gained probably, based off the meals that I fed her, probably another 20 grams or so. But yeah, she still does look a little bit skinny. And just to show you something, whenever your female lays, you want to make sure that she does not lose any of her fat pads. Whenever she lays, you want her fat pads to be essentially where they were before she laid. So you'll see her head is still normal. She still has a little bit of sand on her face, but her head is still normal. Her arms are not skinny. Her legs still got a little bounce to them. Look at that little bounce. And then her tail is not skinny as well. You can't see her spine that much. So essentially that's what you want after a dragon lays. You don't want a complete change in the way they look. You just want to see a drop in weight. So essentially it's as good that she looks the way she looks a day after laying. Honestly, not even 24 hours. It's probably been I want to say like 15 hours or so since she laid. It was about six something in the afternoon, in the evening, and I'm recording this video at 10 in the morning. So essentially, what is that? Yeah, about 15, 16 hours or so. But this is the first and fifth clutch laid by this girl. The second clutch was laid by Hera. It's spelled like hero, but instead of an O at the end, it's an A. So Hera here is a hypo het trans het zero. And she is from one of the females that I used to own and a different male that somebody else owned. But essentially, she is going, well, no, this will be her second season breeding. So this will be, it'll be her second season breeding. So these will be my second set of her children or her babies, and it'll be my great grand dragons, I guess you could say. Yeah, because she's technically my grand dragon because she came from one of my females. So yeah, great grand dragons. This is my second season producing great grand dragons from this female here. Last year, so she was 50% het wiblets. So last year I paired her to a het wiblets to see what I would get. I didn't get any wiblets out of 3 clutches, so essentially she has not het wiblets. And this year, she has already laid 1 clutch to a het zero, so I should be getting zeros from her. And she is already plumping up for a second clutch, but this is one of the dragons that I said I can't really tell if she's gravid again or not, or if she's just getting heavier. And she's not the type of dragon to just eat to indulge, and she's been eating a whole lot lately, so I'm assuming is that she's, gaining weight for a clutch, but I don't want to, say something and then not be something. So I'm just going to go with the fact that she's just gaining weight right now. But I do expect a second clutch from her because she had a good clutch the first time. I think it was 21 eggs or something like that. And yeah, so pretty good clutch. So we should be having some zeros this year. For anyone that's been following me for a while, you'll know that I am really a fan of wiblets, and I do like zeros as well, but I really only like zeros to produce zeros for other people. I don't do zeros to keep them for myself. Whereas wiblets, I do keep wiblets for myself, so I do hold back wiblets versus zeros. I could care less. I hate to say that, but it's just that there's not really much to them. You can't add more color to zero. You can't add more pattern to zero. So essentially there's nothing else to it. It's just a gray white dragon, and that's essentially all that you get. Versus with wiblets, You can make them as colorful as you want. Obviously, they're still patternless, but you can make them as colorful as you want. So essentially, that is where I'm at with my clutches here. And now we're gonna go look at the third female to lay the third clutch, and let's go look at her. Now Sarah laid our third clutch of the year, and she's already gaining a whole lot of weight, just like Hera is. So I think they were probably like 5 or 6 days apart. They weren't very far apart as far as laying goes, and I expect them to probably lay around the same time. Sarah actually laid 25 eggs, but she had punctured quite a few of them. Probably like 4 or 5 eggs were punctured, and then there was a few that were infertile. So I actually only ended up with like 17 or 18 fertile that I could tell that were fertile. And where are you going? And essentially, that's what happened. Usually, I think last year she gave me a clutch of 28, and so I was expecting a bigger clutch because that's what she likes to lay is bigger clutches, but I didn't expect her to puncture all of them. And there she is getting real active, trying to figure out how she can get out of here. And she's very active all the time. But essentially, she laid our third clutch. She has a hypo het trans, and she was paired to a hypo trans leatherback thunderbolt. So we should be getting some genetic stripes out of her, some red genetic stripes. And let's hope she does not leave us today. Where are you going? So let's hope that we get some nice dragons out of her, and she does lay a second clutch for us. Because where are you going, Sarah? Because that is what we're trying to get. We're trying to add some genetic stripes to the lineup here. We have probably like 3 or 4 genetic stripes, but I wouldn't mind having more genetic stripes, especially being red genetic stripes is probably what I'm trying to get. I do have yellow genetic stripes. I need more red genetic stripes. Come on. She's out of here. All right. Let's go look at the fourth dragon that laid the fourth clutch, and then we'll look at the snakes that have already had their prelay shed. Now, this is Aphrodite. She is a hypo het trans het wiblets. And actually, I wasn't expecting any eggs from her this year, but I started noticing that she was gaining a lot of weight, almost as if she was building follicles. And so what I did was I just paired her to the same male that I had paired her last year. That way, if she decided to lay eggs, that the eggs would at least be fertilized. And essentially, they were fertilized. She gave me probably like 18 eggs or so. And she is a dragon that likes to lay 3 or 4 clutches. And last year, when she laid her fourth clutch, it was still a pretty good clutch of all infertiles. So typically, when that happens, usually after brumation, they'll lay another clutch. I've had that happen 2 or 3 times where after brumation, they'll lay a clutch, and it'll be mainly fertiles. And then that's usually what happens. But because of that, I decided to pair her again and give her the best chances of laying fertile eggs. There's no sense of her, laying a clutch of eggs for no reason. Because of the fact that it'll do so much to her body and she'll lose all that calcium and everything. So I figured, why not give her fertilized eggs? And obviously I'll just take care of her just like every other female that is gravid and laying eggs. But she, this is going to be her second year breeding for us here. And she still has quite a few more years. I usually try to breed them for 3 or 4 years. And usually by the time they're 5 or 6 is usually when I retire them. But yeah, she'll be her and Sarah. This will be both their second years, or all 3. Sarah, nope, I take that all back. Hera and Aphrodite, they'll be the second year. Sarah's on her 3rd year breeding for us, so we'll see how she does this year, and if she does well, then we'll do 1 more year, and that'll be it. But it's mainly just seeing how they react to their 3rd or 4th year breeding before I decide if it's their last year or not. But super nice female. She doesn't look like much, but she produces very, very nice dragons. And the paradox that I got this year came from her. So maybe we'll get another paradox this year. Who knows? Considering that she laid 4 clutches last year and only 1 clutch gave us a paradox, and there was only 1 paradox out of like 90 babies that she gave us. So that's a pretty bad odds for paradoxes in my opinion, but it is what it is. So let's go look at some snakes that have already had their prelay shed. And that'll be the end of the video. So this girl just had her prelay shed not that long ago, so she's still kind of flaky. And I could probably take a lot of this off, which is weird because you can tell it's a little moist on the substrate here. I don't know why she's flaky like that. But this is a fire het tri-stripe, and I'll probably give her a bath and try to get a lot of this shed off. That way she's not, you know, pissed off about it. But fire het tri-stripe paired to a banana possible yellow belly het tri-stripe. I sent a shed test off for the yellow belly, but it came back inconclusive, so I have to send another shed test. And then the other female, it's this girl here. She is a banana fire 66% het tri-stripe, and I have a good feeling that she's going to prove out, but obviously I don't want to hold my breath on there. And she also had a pre-lay shed on the same day as the fire het tri-stripe. And obviously you can see that her shed came off just fine. So it's not humidity based. I'm not sure exactly what happened with her, why she had a flaky shed like that. But yeah, this is a banana fire het tri-stripe here, and that'll be the two females that lay first. The third female probably will be this girl here. She is a going into shed right now. You can see her eyes a little glazy there. She is a pied het hypo or het ghost, and she's honestly massive. She's like 2,800 grams, but that male, he was probably like 550 grams, and he somehow did the deed with this female. But yeah, she should be the third one to lay eggs for us. And then this girl here, she is an Enchi pinstripe pied, and she just had her ovulation probably a few days ago, like the visual ovulation, not the ovulation shed. And she should probably be the fourth one to lay eggs for us here. And then this girl here just had her ovulation shed, and she should be giving us an ovulation here in about a couple weeks. And she should be the fifth one to lay eggs. Should be, not too sure. Obviously, it's all based on the female, so she could decide not to lay eggs for 3 months, because that's happened to me before. And before I let y'all go, this is the new snake we just got, the banana yellow belly pied het clown. And she is in her tub here with some, this is a paper towel. I just wanted to see, make sure there's no mites or nothing like that. And she gave me this big old turd over here that I actually have to wipe down because I don't have any substrate in here. And yeah, big old massive turd. Thanks very much. Welcome to the QB's Tails and Scales family. I guess this is how you say hello too, but Jesus Christ. Bad poop. That's a bad poop. Gotta clean that out. All right. And if you made it this far into the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. As always, peace.